Narendra Modi is set to arrive in Paris this Thursday. His plane just landing. The Indian Prime Minister is, of course, the guest of honor for this year's Bastille Day military parade. Now, his presence in that traditional event then symbolizes the central element of bilateral relations between France and India, and that is military cooperation. Indian pilots will be flying French-made fighter jets at the parade, which is, of course, a reminder that New Delhi is one of the biggest buyers of French weapons. The two leaders are also expected to discuss some major new defense deals. For more on this, as we wait to see pictures of Narendra Modi getting out of his plane, we will cross now to our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Hi there, Philip. So what are these two leaders hoping to get out of this visit?
Right, well, this is a key visit by Narendra Modi to take part, as you were saying, in the Bastille Day celebrations, which will be held tomorrow on July the 14th, which is the traditional Bastille Day. There's always a military parade in the morning, and quite often heads of state from other nations are invited to take part in this parade, given the red carpet treatment. They will sit at the bottom of the Champs-Élysées and watch all of these personnel, fighter planes, tanks, weapons be paraded in front of the French president, Emmanuel Macron. So that is what he will be doing tomorrow. He's also going to have a lunch at the Louvre Museum while he's in Paris to be able to admire the artifacts there. So France really rolling out the red carpet to try to make a good impression on the Indian Prime Minister. This is not the first time, of course, he's been to France. It's the fourth visit that he's made since Emmanuel Macron was elected back in 2017. And all of this to shore up a special strategic partnership between France and India that dates back to 1998. So 25 years of that strategic partnership. That is why we're going to see probably the announcement of signings of more armaments being sold to India, India being one of the key customers from the French armaments industry. So that is basically what I think the two men are trying to accomplish, a warming of relationships. The relationship is always pretty good between the two nations, and also the shoring up of several military deals between France and India while Narendra Modi is in the country for this two-day visit. But that said, this visit is also causing some concern on the part of human rights groups who've accused India of trampling on democracy, of imprisoning anybody who is an opposition figure against the far-right nationalist BJP party of Narendra Modi. And many saying, well, France needs to address that issue while the Indian premier is in Paris, but it looks pretty unsure that Emmanuel Macron is going to do that during the next couple of days. I think more stress is going to be put on signing those deals. Just to give you one figure, Erin, that is that over the past year, a massive 47% of all of France's aeronautics industry has been shipped to India. So a very important customer at a time where India is needing to expand itself, to modernize the country. It's looking to France to help it do that.
So that's what the two leaders are prioritizing, clearly, the military ties, Philip. But Modi's visit in France is controversial for other reasons. That's, of course, Modi's human rights record, the increasingly kind of Hindu nationalist agenda of his government. So do you think that it's realistic to expect that Macron could condition these deals on Modi changing the course of that?
No, I actually don't think so. And that is going to, I think, annoy some of France's European neighbours, notably Germany, for example, the United Kingdom, the United States. They've all criticised what has been going on in India since Narendra Modi was elected Prime Minister back in 2014, with, as I was saying, opposition candidates either being jailed or forced into trying to go in underground because they can't say anything against the government, and the government accused of buying out politicians of the opposition, trampling on the rights of the press. 161 out of 180 is the rating that India has given on the press freedom listing by Reporters Without Borders. So a lot of concern about the fact that this is not the mother of democracies. This is an autocracy, an electoral autocracy in India. That's what some are now calling it. And that's why there's pressure on Emmanuel Macron to say something to the Indian premier about that. But I think the fact that Emmanuel Macron has kept away from trying to put pressure on the Indian Premier has somewhat helped in relations between the two countries, because India appreciates the fact that France is not getting involved in what it sees as a purely domestic matter. So I think pretty unlikely that over the next couple of days, where commercial interests are at heart, that unfortunately anything to do with human rights and more personal interests will have to take second seat.